Hi everybody and welcome back to our channel. As always, we are your hosts Arne and Carlos, and today we've got one of our favorite things, the Q&As.
And I'm reading the questions.
Yeah.
And I try to pronounce the names the correct way.
Yeah, and usually, we've been doing these Q&As for a while, and we decided after a few of the sessions that we'd share the question reading. So we're doing it kind of every other time. Arne is reading one time, and then I'm doing it the other time to keep things more interesting. So I don't really know what questions are going to be coming.
No, so don't look at my
But
paper.
I do try to look sometimes to see if I can read something because I'm very curious. But anyway.
Okay, first question.
Let's do the first question.
It's from Mary Cristoforo. And she says, I truly love your videos.
Thank you.
Especially the Q&As.
Oh,
thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. I also love David's question. Would you please teach us a few Norwegian knitting terms? Yes, we will.
Okay, let's do Norwegian.
Knitting is strikking.
Yes, and a knit stitch, when you knit, that's rett.
Yeah, and the pearl is vrang.
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 So rett, we spell that R-E-T-T. So you just say rett. And vrang, which is pearl, is vrang. V-R-A-N-G.
But then again, if you go to Norway, and in some areas they say strikking about knitting, and in some places they say speating.
Okay, you know what?
There's a lot of different words in.
Let's not do dialect Norwegian
not
words.
Dialect
Let's just do pure Norwegian and not take any account into regional differences. So
knitting needles.
Strikkepinner.
Strikkepinner.
That's knitting needles
Circular.
in Norwegian. Rundpinne.
Rundpinne. We can go on forever.
Pinne.
Okay, we can talk about this in one of the videos.
Yeah, but anyway, pinne is needle and nål is a hook. So häcklenål is a crochet. Are we supposed to say crochet or only knitting?
Knitting.
Oh, only knitting terms. Sorry, no crochet allowed. So strikkepinne, rundpinne,
Vrangbord.
Vrangbord. That's a great word.
Vrangbord.
That is the
hem. No, the rib.
Yeah, the ribbed hem on the bottom of a garment.
Vrangbord.
And the body. So when you're knitting a sweater, you call the part which doesn't have the sleeves, you call that the body, right?
Bol.
Bol in Norwegian. B-O-L. Bol.
Like this wide L. Bol. And swallow it. Bol.
So let's just sum up the Norwegian vocabulary. You have rett, you have vrang, you have strikkepinne, rundpinne,
vrangbord.
Vrangbord, and bol.
Oh, there's a lot of words.
And those are this week's words in Norwegian knitting.
Okay.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
This is fun.
This is from Tracy Logan, and she says, I would like to know some words related to yarn and crochet in Norwegian.
Oh.
Okay, let's do crochet then. And
Oh my
yarn.
God, okay.
As it would be handy for me to know. And what's your favorite thing to make?
Okay, let's do crochet then, now that we're allowed. But let's start with yarn.
Crochet is so confusing in English. It should be in like one similar question.
But let's do crochet. Let's say yarn in Norwegian is garn. So you just replace the Y with a G and you say garn. And that's
in my dialect it's gone.
Gone. But we're not talking dialect here today. So
it's nicer in dialect.
I know, but so anyway, crochet terms. So the crochet hook, häcklenål.
Okay, then I can do it in Norwegian and you can do it in English because I'm so confused by English crochet.
Okay, anyway.
So fastmaske.
That is a
single crochet?
That's a single crochet.
Okay, and stav?
That is a double crochet.
And dobbelstav?
That is a treble.
En tredobbelstav?
That's a treble.
Tre staver hekla sammen I gruppe.
No, thank you. A cluster.
Luftmaske?
That is a chain. Wow, I'm good.
I think we covered almost.
I think we've covered crochet. So crochet terms are actually even more complicated in Norwegian than they are in English, apparently.
No, it's more difficult in English because it's different in England and in America, so it's so confusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish we could do everything in Norwegian. It would make our life so much easier.
Okay, next. Ruth Huggins. Oh, this favorite, we forgot the last one.
What's your favorite thing to make?
Favorite thing to make.
I mean, I'm a simple guy. I love the Christmas balls, and I love varying the ways I do them. So sometimes I'll knit them with tweed yarn, sometimes I'll do them with cotton, sometimes I'll do them with wool. And it's always good to have Christmas balls to knit, especially when we are on tour and when we have to do book signings, because that's so easy to just sit there and just go very fast.
I think for me, sometimes I like to do socks and sometimes Christmas balls, but right now I like to do crochet, where I can make all these squares and get rid of all the leftover yarns. It makes me so happy when I can clean up in my basket.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do.
Okay. So let's listen to the next question.
That was Ruth Huggins. Can you help some Canadian knitters pronounce lykke?
Lykke.
At Lykke.
Lykke.
Our favorite shop, Wabisabi in Ottawa, sells the brand, but we are unsure of how the correct pronunciation.
We'll pronounce it again, but before we do, we'll tell you the meaning of lykke is happiness. It means happiness in Norwegian, and it's lykke.
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 I hope that helps.
That's a nice name.
It's a lovely name for a shop. Happiness. Yeah. It's a great shop.
So, Johanne Jensen, she wonders, have you guys ever visited the Faroe Islands? No.
No, but we'd love to go. A few years back, we were going to go. We had a request. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with our schedule, and so we couldn't go in the end. But we have it on our list of, what do you call it? Is it the bucket list?
Bucket list?
It's in our bucket list as a place that we'd love to go to.
One day we go.
One day we'll definitely go.
Okay, next. The Suvi P. Hello from Finland. Thank you for your fabulous channel. Your videos light up my entire week.
Thank you.
You're looking. I love your laid-back attitude about crafts. It's very inviting for the question. Do you ever do meet and greets?
Yes.
Yes, we do. And if so, is there any chance you will be visiting Finland anytime soon?
Yes. Actually, yes, we are.
Yes.
We're going to Finland on April 27, and we will be in Finland from April 27 to April 29. We are going to go.
And now we're talking 2018. If you look at this in 2020, or
it's gone. Yeah,
it's gone.
So, April 27 to 29, 2018, we will be in Kokkola. Karleby in Finland. So I pronounced it, I don't know if I pronounced Kokkola correctly.
Sounds Finnish.
But in Finland there is this relationship with Swedish as well, or Sweden. So the area we're going to is Kokkola in Finnish and Karleby in Swedish, which is the language I speak. But anyway, we will be there from April 27 to 29. And if you want to know more about that trip, please go to our website at arnecarlos.com and get in touch with us through the contact sheet that you find under contact.
Mm-hmm. And we have a new question, and this sounds Finnish. It's from Margot Pikkila. I don't know how you answer.
Let me see.
Pikkila.
Margot Pikkila. Yeah, that sounds quite
sounds
Finnish.
Pikkila.
Pikkila.
Yeah. Will you ever be visiting, touring, knitting in Vancouver, BC, Canada again in future? Okay,
so Vancouver is definitely on our bucket list. We have been wanting to go to Vancouver for so long because we've heard that it's such a great place to go. We haven't been to Canada. Well, I went to Canada when I was a very young child. Arne has never been.
I know where it is, but I haven't been there.
We'd love to go. Unfortunately, we are not the ones that decide where to go. We need some kind of interest from maybe a store or somebody who organizes a retreat. So if somebody that subscribes to our channel or who is listening to us right now, if you're in Vancouver, if you own a yarn store, if you organize retreats, get in touch through our contact information on our website, arnecarlos.com, and hopefully we will be in Vancouver sometime in the future.
Yeah. This is a good one. Andrea K. Can you talk about your trip to Australia and your observations there? I am curious to know what you think about the wool and the knitting down under.
Well, that was a great trip. For those of you who don't know, we were in Australia last year. We spent 2 weeks there in July, so in the middle of the Australian winter. And we have to laugh about that because the middle of the Australian winter is warmer than the middle of the Norwegian summer. So that was kind of hilarious, going to what we call winter. And I say that loosely.
We went for Christmas in July.
Yeah.
What's it called? Christmas in July.
We went for Christmas in July. In Sydney when we were there.
So one morning in the hotel there was this Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, and we were like, "What's going on?" It's like,
yeah, but
so
we loved Australia. Australia was such a great country. Delicious food, wonderful wines. The port wines in Australia are the best we've ever had. And of course, the whole idea of the trip, or the whole goal of the trip, was to do something with Australian wool growers. We were so lucky. We were able to fly down to Tasmania, where we visited 2 stunning properties where they had a lot of sheep. And we were actually quite happy and relieved to see that it was all just stunning, and the sheep looked so happy.
We learned a lot.
We learned a lot, and the sheep were running around roaming around, and just, really, really well cared for.
We didn't know that you can get different wool on the sheep based on which pasture they were
That's
eating.
true, yeah.
That was really cool.
And then I got to throw a fleece.
He's a good thrower.
So we went to see some shearing, and the shearers, they sheared the sheep, and then they let me throw a fleece. I got an 8 out of 10, but I think they said that because they were just being nice.
Yeah. So we liked it in Australia.
We loved Australia. We loved the wool. The wool that we were working with was a merino superfine, which is a very luxurious yarn. And obviously, when you create a luxurious yarn like that, you know that animal welfare has to be the best, because the quality of the wool does reflect, actually the welfare of the animal reflects on the quality of the wool. So we were actually very, very happy to see that everything was so well organized and well operated. Yeah. So Australia, a big thumbs up
nice,
from us.
Very relaxed.
And we want to go back.
Nice.
We want to go back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
And we didn't see any snakes, any spiders.
Well, at the zoo.
But not like we didn't meet them.
No, luckily no.
But we liked it. Oh, next one?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking. You're always looking when I'm reading. This is from Sylvia. Hi guys. First question. When will you come to South America, Argentina?
Oh, I remember Sylvia V, because a while back we were doing the live stream, remember?
Yeah.
And we answered Sylvia V's question.
Oh, hi Sylvia.
Hi Sylvia. But we can also answer it again. So you wanted to know when we would go to Argentina, and we told you that we were there last year on holiday, privately on a holiday. And we adored your country. Argentina is beautiful. Mm-hmm. We had a wonderful time in Buenos Aires. We went to Salta and we went to Iguazu. It was a great, great, great trip.
And we went on that salt lake.
Oh, we went to see the salt flats. They were beautiful.
That was cool.
And we'd love to go back to Argentina. It's also a country that is very similar to Norway. If the further south in Argentina you go, the more it looks like Norway. I'm sure that people need to stay warm, and people are probably doing lots of knitting. So it's definitely a country to go back to.
It's really nice. And going back to South America for us,
it's like coming home.
Especially for Carlos, it's like going home.
It's like going home.
He was born in Brazil, and you speak Spanish.
I grew up in South America.
So he's South American.
So any more questions from Sylvia V?
Yeah, we have one more. Second question. When will you translate your beautiful works into Spanish? That's a good question, because I think we have only one book in Spanish.
Yeah, the only book we have translated into Spanish is Knit and Crochet Garden. And it's very difficult to explain why they're not in Spanish, but let's say it this way. We don't decide. We don't say, oh, I want the book to be translated into Spanish, or oh, I want the book to be translated into Polish. We need a publisher for that in that country.
Actually, the Norwegian publisher, they are selling rights to other countries, so we just wait and see what happens. But you could do it. You could translate.
I don't have time.
No.
But our Spanish publisher has only published Knit and Crochet Garden, and up until now, he hasn't shown interest in publishing other books, and nor have other publishing companies. But you never know. One day they will tell us that they'd like to translate a book, and we will be more than happy to sell them the rights.
Yeah. That's the third question.
Oh, one more.
How many Argentine followers do you have? We could form a fan club a big hug from the southern end of our beautiful planet.
Oh, how fun.
Well-
I think we have a few followers, so please do that. Do the ARNE CARLOS Argentinian fan club. If you do that, we'll definitely come and see you.
That's next?
Yeah.
Amra Delik. Will you ever come to Chicago?
Yes, we will. That is in the planning right now. So keep your eyes peeled for our fall tour, which will be announced closer to departure date, and we will definitely be going to Chicago, I think. Yes. I hope.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
I've heard that Chicago is nice. We should go.
I want to go.
Okay, so from Linda Landine. Hello from the Canadian prairies. Canada again. If a person wanted to come to Norway to do some cross-country skiing, when would be the best time to come? Ideally, there would be lots of snow and not colder than about -15.
Mm-hmm.
That's around now.
Yeah, well, no.
-15? No, maybe around Christmas. But then it can be -30.
No, I think the best time to come is in February and in March. In March, during Easter, most Norwegians go up in the mountains to ski.
Then it's crowded everywhere.
It's pretty crowded. Don't come in Easter. Avoid that if you don't like crowds, because most Norwegians go up skiing. Most of March, you will find beautiful sunny weather up in the mountains and lots of possibilities to do cross-country skiing. And it will be warmer than in February. February, you can get anything from -30 to +5, really. Nowadays, the weather is so unpredictable. But I think the best times to come to Norway for skiing is the times when the Norwegians themselves take their skiing holidays. End of January and then all the way until Easter.
She also asked, are some parts of your country better than others for skiing? And actually, we live in a very good part of the country for skiing. Because we're close to Lillehammer, the Olympics.
Yeah. We have a very special phenomenon in Norway. And, people are assuming that in our part of the world, the further north you go, the colder it gets and the more snow you get. But if you go to the coast of Norway, northbound, you get the Gulf Stream. So say you are in Bodø, which is a town north of the Arctic Circle, but on the coast, they will rarely get snow, or not much snow anyway in the winter.
We were there around, was it in January or one year? December, and it was -30 here.
-30 here,
and it was
+6 there.
+6 and raining. So that was, for us, it was
kind of a definitely the coast of Norway, where the Gulf Stream is available, which is basically the whole coast from Bergen up to Tromsø or something. You won't get much snow there. And it means also that in the south west of the country, by the coast, you won't get snow.
But this year they have a lot of snow in the south.
But this year's different.
It's different.
But inland Norway, so the inland of Norway, you fly to Oslo, and then from Oslo you can go to areas near Lillehammer and those areas inland. You'll get plenty of snow, and also in the north of Norway, if you go to Kautokeino, so not on the coast, but on the other side, you'll get.
But we haven't been everywhere, so we're not professional.
No, but I think this area is really good for cross-country.
We know we have a lot of snow, so come to this area.
Come to Lillehammer.
Lillehammer and Gudbrandsdal is good. Jessica Mafalda, hi there. I was wondering if you have ever come to Portugal. I'm from there, and I knit by machine. I have an Instagram, and it would be awesome if you could check it out.
Oh, cool. We will.
The name is Knitwear to You. Love your stuff.
We've been to Portugal twice, but both times on holiday. It's a country we have discovered lately.
No, we have half a day work once.
Oh, we've been to Portugal 3 times. Sorry, yeah. Once for work, but not knitting.
No, with embroidery.
Yes.
We had a meeting in Porto.
Yeah, actually, we went to a factory in our past.
We did all. Yeah, we had. Yeah.
We have worked.
We have worked in Portugal.
Yeah. But the 2 last times we went to Portugal were for holidays. Lisbon is a really cool city. We really love Lisbon. We went to Porto as well. Had a great time. And Portugal, we love
the
back.
antique stores and the flea markets.
And the people are super nice. The food's yummy.
It's very nice.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we could do a lot of knitting with Portuguese as well. Yeah. I love the way, remember we were in Denmark, doing a trade show, and this lovely Portuguese lady came to us and said she wanted to show us how she knitted. And then she had that little pin.
Yeah, I had the pin.
Remember,
She
she
did
put a
something
little
like
pin
this.
on her sweater, and then she put the yarn through the pin, and then she knitted, and she was tensioning the yarn like that. It was
And
really
the finger
neat.
went like...
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's cool. So,
We want to learn that.
and we want to go back to Portugal. Mm-hmm. Okay, next. Lisbeth Farmer Bowers. When are you coming to the San Francisco Bay Area?
Whenever we get
I
invited.
see you were looking again.
Oh, sorry. Whenever we get invited, we'd love to go there as well. San Francisco, all of California, definitely on our bucket list. I have been to San Francisco before, but it was in my past when I was very young. Arne has never been. We'd love to come to California. So if you are a yarn store, if you organize retreats, hit us up on the contact form on our website, arnecarlos.com, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah. Next. Yeah. Louise van den Munkhoff. Have you ever visited New Zealand?
No,
Oh,
and
but
that's
we like-
another,
that's
place
another place.
on our bucket list. We've been planning a trip to New Zealand forever. We were thinking of doing it as a holiday. I mean, it's so far away, and we'd love to stay at least 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, and we were invited once, or they asked us if we want to come because we had this fan club in.
Oh yeah, we have a
once.
Maori fan
Maori
club.
fan club
In
called the Matajarnas.
The Matajarnas, yes.
Yeah. So we should go.
We'd love to go to New Zealand.
And
I mean,
we heard that it looks almost like Norway, like with fjords and mountains.
yeah, but more
and-
interesting because it's probably way different anyway.
It's probably totally different. The plants and everything is different. So we would like to go. Okay, Joanna Heiss. My questions are selfish and patriotic.
Okay.
What did you enjoy most during your visit to Australia? Have you used any Australian wool since you visited? Would you like to visit Australia again, even though it is so far away?
Oh, great questions.
Yes, we will go
Yes,
back.
yes.
Yes.
What we enjoyed the most in Australia, I have to say, was the hospitality of the people. Everybody was so nice. Everybody's super chilled, super relaxed. Our kind of people, for sure.
Yeah, and we would like to use Australian wool again, if we could.
It's great
So-
quality wool. We love Australian wool. I mean, the wools that we worked with were
But then
phenomenal.
again, I think a lot of the wool we get in Norway is also Australian.
Probably, yeah.
But we don't know it.
Yeah. And yeah, and of course we'd love to go to Australia again, even if it's far away. I mean, when it came to traveling to Australia, I think the trip was half the fun. I mean, we went forever and ever and ever. Started out in Norway, flew to Zurich, then we flew to Singapore, and then from Singapore we flew into Sydney, and it was insane. I mean, I've never traveled for 28 hours before.
But it's not far if you compare with people who went there the first time.
Yeah, they had a
So we
longer.
shouldn't complain.
Yeah, they had a longer route,
You can sleep the whole way, so it's no
Yeah.
problem,
if you're lucky.
if you're lucky. So we'll be back one day. Next. Oh, this is long. My English is bad, but Bev Alcock. Hello from Newfoundland. Not sure if you are aware, but
Canada.
yeah,
Yeah.
it says.
Oh.
Newfoundland is an island on the east coast of Canada, and we have been knitting for hundreds of years. Yes, hundreds. So have we. Maybe they are Norwegians.
I think that's what's
Our
coming.
traditional knits are very much influenced by Nordic and Scandic designs. If you Google Newfoundland traditional knitting, you'll find lots of info on how knitting has been a part of our culture of centuries, and you see the similarities. That's nice. Our weather is very comparable to Norway, which is likely why our knits are so much alike. So many people knit here too. You'll find it difficult to walk into a home here and not finding knitting needles or knitted goods. I'm just curious if you were aware of this little, not really little island and how similar we are.
Well, we were
Shares from across the pond.
we were aware of the island, definitely. We knew about the island, but we didn't know that it was so similar. I guess that there's been contact in the past, and I think probably influenced each other somehow. Sounds like a place we definitely need to go to.
Yeah.
And we definitely need to check out. So Newfoundland.
We have a lot in common, it seems. You should go there.
We should go.
You have to
Newfoundland,
Google
here we
it.
come.
You have to Google Newfoundland first. Okay, next. David Hensley. One question. Did Arne make that beautiful sweater? I guess that's the sweater I was wearing on the intro, or where we talked about this.
I think
that's the Australian sweater.
Yeah, it was the sweater on the Q&A, on the video that we did where we requested people to send in their questions. I think that's the video he's talking about. You're wearing the multi-pattern. I call it the Australian sweater
because we found it in Australia.
Yeah, we bought it in a thrift store in Australia, and it's got all those multi-patterns, and it's really loose and really long.
So I didn't make it.
No, it's from a thrift store in Melbourne.
It's beautiful. It's a little bit. This is almost like a dress when I wear it. So I should take off a little bit and put on a new rib, but I haven't touched it yet because maybe one day. But I didn't make it. Second question. Would you be willing to teach us a couple of Norwegian or Swedish yarn-related words each week? Thanks. That's David that was mentioned. You are David that somebody else mentioned.
Yeah, Mary Christopher mentioned David's question, and I was thinking, have we had that question?
No,
and now we got the question.
David's question.
So David, if you saw the beginning of this Q&A, your questions were answered there.
But we can actually, when we do the podcast things, we can actually give you more words in English and Swedish. In Norwegian and Swedish, sorry.
Definitely.
Should we stop? Should we do more?
Yeah, I think that we've done a few, quite a lot of questions today. I think that it's going to be, David is going to be the final one to get his questions answered today. It means that we started with David, but we didn't know it.
You can do some Swedish.
And now we finish with David again.
No,
they were asking for it in Norwegian.
Or Swedish.
Well, we've done it in Norwegian. Next time we'll do it in Swedish.
Okay.
So let's finish up this Q&A, and I mean, look at this. We've got so many questions to answer, Arne.
That's only.
We'll be answering questions for
forever,
quite some time. So there will be more Q&As coming. Just stay tuned. Remember, we post tutorials every single week. The Q&As are not going to come every single week in a row, but from now and then you'll have a Q&A from us that we will reply to your questions. So keep watching. Remember to subscribe our channel if you don't subscribe. If you like the video, do the thumbs up for it on that thing where you click the button. And if you have comments for us or even more questions, put them on the comments field below.
So we continue with this next time.
Next time we'll continue with more questions. Thanks so much for watching, and see you again very soon. Bye.